Hello, I'm Tom Cooley with the Iowa Department of Education. I'm Bureau Chief for School Business Operations. And today I'm here to share some uh, information or a brief overview of the school finance and fiscal guidance from the 2021 legislative session. The school finance and fiscal guidance is linked on the PowerPoint. That guidance document is available on the school finance resources page of the Iowa Department of Education website. This overview is broken into 4 areas that in general, the piece of legislation passed during the 2021 session fit under these general 4 categories. So we'll have information about fiscal year 2022 funding, categorical funding, and some flexibilities that were added, some changes to supplementary weighting, and again, some changes on governance and reporting that affect both school districts and AEAs. There were multiple bills that impacted school finance that were passed during the 2021 legislative session. Again, those topics range from supplemental state aid to changes in how to address teacher salary supplement, some changes on types of documentation that have to be provided by districts, and also things related to some of the reports that districts and AEAs have had to provide. Regarding FY22 funding, the legislature set supplemental state aid, the growth rate for supplemental state aid for FY22 at 2.4%. Also, they added an additional $10 to the regular program base, and those 2 changes resulted in a state cost per pupil for FY22 of $7,227. Also included in legislation was a continuation of transportation equity funding. This year, enough funding is being provided to bring all districts to that state per pupil average of $334.80. Regarding categorical funding and flexibilities, there was change to address the ability for a district, again, to transfer general fund dollars to the student activity fund to cover pandemic-related revenue shortfalls. That provision is effective for fiscal year 2021, so the year that was just most recently completed, through FY 2023. For teacher salary supplement, a provision was put in place to address a situation where some districts have been carrying a significant balance in TSS. This legislation requires those that are carrying an amount that exceeds 5% of the amount of TSS dollars that the district receives for FY 2022 to allocate and pay that difference to eligible employees during the 2022-2023 school year. There's also a change in relation to the teacher leadership supplement or teacher leadership compensation, TLC dollars. The change now allows TLC dollars if there are balances remaining, unobligated, unexpended balances at the end of a fiscal year, that those balances can be transferred to the district flexibility account. And again, that is effective with the FY 2021 balances. Regarding the flexibility account, in addition to this additional allowed source, there's another allowed use of dollars that have been moved to the flexibility account. And that allowed use is to support the newly created Flexible Student and School Support Program, which is also referenced as the FS3 program. And additional information regarding that program is included in one of the other webinar presentations related to school accreditation and improvement in physical education updates. Some of the supplementary weighting changes that occurred during this last session included a change of weighting for English language learners. Previously, each English language learner was assigned a weighting of 0.22, and that was, again, for each identified EL student. That is changing to 2 weightings of either 0.21 or 0.26, depending on the level of proficiency. Those new weightings will impact funding generated for FY 2023. Related to operational function sharing, 3 new eligible positions were added: special education director, work-based learning coordinator, and mental health professional holding a BOEE statement of professional recognition. Another key piece that happened with operational function sharing is a change in the weighting for the majority of the positions. So there will be a reduction in weighting for positions that had previously had a weighting, I believe, of 5 FTEs. Those are reduced to 4, and positions that carried an additional weighting of 3 FTEs have been reduced to 2. And again, that will be effective for funding generated for FY23. In the area of governance and reporting, there were numerous changes. Again, this presentation is not going into detail on a lot of these, so please make sure to follow up with the linked document that was referenced at the beginning of the presentation. Some of the changes include a requirement for districts that receive open enrolled students who are provided Medicaid eligible special education services to provide documentation back to the resident district that would allow for Medicaid billing. There was also a change in the ability of a district to deposit proceeds from sale of property. Previously, that had some limitations in statute. The new change will allow proceeds from sale of property to be deposited to any school fund, but that does require a public hearing. There is some reduction in reporting coming forward as well. Some of the legislation that was passed removed district reporting requirements related to the nonprofit school organization report, which previously had been included as part of the certified annual report, or CAR. And it also removed a requirement for information related to revenues and expenditures that districts incurred in relation to the Iowa Association of School Boards. It removes that information from the school association report. That information will now be provided by IASB to the department rather than through the districts. Also, there were several changes related to publication of notices related to a variety of requirements, and those changes apply to both district and AEAs. Again, this was intended to be just a quick overview of the guidance document that's been posted. If you have any questions on legislative changes that occurred during the 2021 session, please feel free to contact me at tom.cooley@iowa.gov. And again, you can find additional information on the school business and finance webpage. Thank you very much.